And let's get right into it and I'll talk about it. First off, I have 4 Warden of the First Trees, one of which is promo. Great card, does a lot of good things. You pay 1 in a black or white, in my case white, and it'll become a human warrior with a base power and toughness of 3/3. Then it just does more stuff for more mana. There's Sunblade Elf, another 1-drop for 1 green. It gets +1/+1 as long as I control the planes, which is very good in my deck. Maybe not so good in other decks, and also 4 and a white, and creatures you can control get +1/+1 until end of turn. Don't use that ability. I don't use that ability much, but could be helpful if I'm trying to tap all my creatures and go for a sudden rush. 1-drop Soldier of the Pantheon, very good card. Protection from multicolor. When an opponent casts a multicolored spell, you gain 1 life. Good in this format because of all the multicolored spells. Heir of the Wilds, one of which is a full art promo. Death Touch and Ferocious. Whenever it attacks, if you control a creature with power 4 or greater, it gets +1/+1 until end of turn. Fleecemane Lions, a white and a green, 3/3, 3 white and green. It's monstrosity 1 as long as it's monstrous. Has hexproof and indestructible. It's an absolute bomb. People get scared whenever you play it, and it makes me happy. Fabled Hero, 2 white and a colorless, double strike, human soldier, heroic, +1/+1 counter on it whenever you target it with a spell. It's a 2/2. It's mean. Whenever you play, it's good against decks with small creatures because they think they just have to block it. And the double strike will destroy the creatures. It's mean to small and control decks. And Boon Satyr, 2 green and a colorless with Bestow for 2 green and 3 colorless. And it's a flash creature, which is very nice. So you always want to play that on your opponent's end step if possible. Brimaz, King of Oreskos, Vigilance. Whenever Brimaz attacks, you put a 1/1 cat soldier creature token with vigilance on the battlefield attacking. Same thing when it blocks, except it's blocking. Polukranos, World Eater, 2 colorless and 2 green for a 5/5, and then it does monstrous things. I'm tired and I don't feel like reading it.
Eats everything.
It does eat everything. Wingmate Rok, rounding out my curve for creatures, 2 white and 3 colorless. It's a flying, and you want to almost always play this with Raid, which is whenever it enters the battlefield, if you attacked with a creature this turn, basically put a copy of Wingmate Rok. You put a 3/3 or a 3/4 white bird creature on the battlefield with flying, and it's basically copies it. And it also, whenever it attacks, you gain 1 life for each attacking creature.
But that's only on the original Wingmate Rok.
That's only on your original.
Not on the
Wingmate Rok.
3/4 token.
God's Willing, nice combat trick if people are trying to kill your stuff. Cough, cough, burn decks. And you also get to scry 1. Valorous Stance, another good combat trick. Target creature gains indestructible until end of turn, or destroy target creature with toughness 4 or greater. Good against those pesky siege rhinos. Banishing Light, a white and 2 colorless. Whenever it enters the battlefield, exile target non-land permanent an opponent controls under it until Banishing Light leaves the battlefield. So unless they have enchantment removal, you're pretty good. Launch the Fleet, just 1 white, and Strive. It costs 1 colorless more to cast for each target beyond the first. Until the end of turn, any number of target creatures each game, whenever they attack, put a 1/1 white soldier token onto the battlefield, tapped and attacking. And then an Ajani, Mentor of Heroes, which fits great in my colors. Just kind of putting them all together and go into my mana base. It might not be in order, and I apologize for that. Just have some forests, basic lands, 2 Blossoming Sands, one of which is foil. Really like my foils. 2 Temples of Plenty. 4 Windswept Heath. And then the rest are plains. One of which is foil.
And Windswept Heaths are important because you can get plains for your Sunblade Elves.
Yeah.
Then it turns them on.
Yep. And my sideboard. Sorry about that, guys. I was using my sideboard as a stand for my light, so sorry about that. And onto my sideboard, I have an End Hostilities to deal with all those pesky aggro decks, of which I am one. 2 Citadel Sieges, choose Khans or Dragons. 2 Seeker of the Ways. Prowess, lifelink, where a 1 white and a 1 colorless prowess creature. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, it gains lifelink until end of turn, so basically a 3/3 lifelink whenever you activate prowess, or more, depending on how many non-creature spells you play. Mardu Hordechief, just if I need card advantage, and raid whenever it enters the battlefield. If I attacked with a creature, put a 1/1 white warrior. 3 Reclamation Sages, that'll help me deal if my opponent, say, has Banishing Light. Netcaster Spider to deal with those pesky Stormbreath dragons.
Interestingly enough, it becomes a 4/3 whenever it blocks a creature flying, so it can kill a Stormbreath dragon, which is one of the biggest problems in this deck.
Stormbreath dragon is a huge problem. 1 more God's Willing. Talked about those. 2 Rangers Guiles, we're gonna put them up there. Just gets +1/+1 and gains hexproof. That's good to counter spells.
It's kind of like a green God's Willing,
basically. And 2 Plummets, just another way to deal with Stormbreath dragon. Well, thanks for all that, and make sure you like and comment, subscribe, and thumbs up.